Okay. Welcome to tonight's call. I'm excited to be here. Tammie, thank you for setting this up. And what we're going to do tonight, well, I have a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to go as quick as I can so that I can squeeze as much as I can in. So I apologize in advance if it feels like you're sipping water from a fire hose tonight. Make sure that you have something to take notes on, because I'm going to drop a bunch of nuggets, hopefully. And set those phones to do not disturb, so we can get into it. And so what I want to talk to you about tonight, I'm going to go through Teamzy. I understand from Tammie's introduction, some of you guys are already using Teamzy. I'm still going to go through and just show you how easy it is to set up and then how to crush a power hour. So I want to just kind of go through what I think are the best workflows for doing a power hour. So you may already be doing it, which would be great. You'll get confirmation, or maybe those are a few things you can try to be more efficient. And then we'll do Q&A at the end. But before I jump into that, I do want to talk a little bit about relationship marketing, because it's the key to this whole system. We made Teamzy, we figured, okay, it's self-explanatory. People can just use this and build their business. And a lot of people did, but some people didn't quite understand what it was made to do. So I want to kind of explain that a little bit as we dive in. So the first thing I want to do is share my screen with you. And I want to talk to you about this, how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So relationship marketing is the system Teamzy's built upon. We built it so that you could work the relationship marketing system. It's a system, meaning that not only can you do it, but you can easily duplicate it with team members. And we need to do it in less than an hour a day, which is where the power hour boss part comes in, right? Okay, so let's dive in. Some of you know me, some of you don't. My story is I've been a business coach consultant for 20 years. This is actually my 21st year, kind of exciting. And I've been helping people build businesses based on relationship marketing. I'm not from the network marketing industry. It's so funny because when I talk to insiders, they're like, so-and-so, or someone, what? I'm like, not really. No, I don't. I'm a newcomer to this industry, but I've been teaching business owners these principles for 21 years. What happened was I fell into network marketing myself and saw what a great opportunity to just start a business on the side, basically zero investment, right? Sky's the limit. It's a no-brainer. As I got into my business, I was very excited about what it could achieve. See, I was just kind of give you an idea, here's a shot of the family. I was constantly working. I loved my career. I really did. Does anyone have a job that they love? I mean, I had a job that I loved, but I didn't have any time left. It sucked all my time, and I wanted more time with my family. I wanted more time to enjoy life. I also was not, averse to making more money. I don't know if I can get an amen on that one, but I thought, I could make a little bit more money. Where I live is pretty expensive. I'm in Southern California. And my career didn't have more growth opportunity. I was pretty much done. So I felt kind of stuck in my life. So network marketing was just a clear winner as far as a vehicle to help me get to where I wanted to be. The challenge that I had was, how am I going to do something more when I already have no time? I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I just didn't know when I was going to do this business. I knew exactly what I needed to do because I'd been teaching people this for so many years. And so I thought, okay, if I could just squeeze 1 hour a day to get this done, could I do it? And I decided, yes, I could, but I need some tools to do it. So I started looking for software. I started looking for apps, anything that would help me to get those activities done in an hour. And what I discovered was, in this industry, as big and amazing as it is, there wasn't anything good. There was, and this was in, what was it, like the tail end of 2014, there was nothing. I did find a couple of systems out there geared towards network marketers that was all based on the go for no, GoPro, like all that nonsense that there's no way I was going to ever do. I don't know about you guys. So I was like, those systems don't help me because they don't work the relationship marketing system. So anyways, long story short, we built Teamzy because somebody had to do it, right? And I figured if I needed it, other people would too. And the Lord blessed us, and we were right. People wanted it. So just to kind of give you an idea, it's actually, I need to change that. It's about 5 years now, or just over 5 years since we launched Teamzy. We've had more than 150,000 network marketers use Teamzy, and it's been very humbling to see the growth. Teamzy's grown pretty much just by people loving it and sharing it. Just to give you an idea of results with Juice Plus, our active Juice Plus distributors using Teamzy, they're averaging 18 new customers and 12 recruits over 90 days. How many of you guys would like to see that in your business? Yeah. Now, what are they doing? How come I'm not getting those results when I'm using Teamzy? Well, maybe you're not doing it consistently enough. Maybe you're not doing right. So I'm going to show you tonight in my demo exactly what these people are doing on average. Okay, to give you an idea, to get those kinds of average results. Okay. And of course, we are honored to be endorsed by Juice Plus Corporate and to have a special arrangement to give you guys a special pricing as well, which is pretty cool. So if you're not already using Teamzy, you can go to teamzy.com/JP to start a free trial. And then after that, as Juice Plus partners, it's 1/3 off your subscription. Okay. And we'll go into that detail at the end if you're interested. Next, let's get into this topic. What is relationship marketing? Move this microphone a little closer. What is relationship marketing? First off, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, the people are more important, and one of the reasons I believe that our industry has kind of a bad reputation is because for so long people have put the sale ahead of the relationship, right? And so your friends and family feel like you're coming for them. Like, oh gosh, here's another friend that's doing network marketing. Let me run and hide because they've got a target on my back. Whereas no, we want to build those relationships. We want to invest in people and be present when we're able to help them, if that makes sense. Also, relationship marketing is not an abstract feel-good concept. I get this all the time from top leaders who've already built a business the old school way. They're like, now you want my people just to like, have nice chats and hold hands with their customers. This isn't like, we're not going to sing Kumbaya at the end of the call tonight, right? What I'm going to show you is a proven system. It's a proven system, something that you can follow, always knowing what to do next, right? How many of you would just like to know what to do next? Fast forward to that part, Eric, just tell me what to do next. And your people always know what to do next, which is pretty cool. And this piece is important. Well, there's a principle here real quick. Important principle. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So the idea here is that we're going to be developing relationships, not developing sales or recruiting partners, but developing and deepening relationships. That's the goal. That's the primary duty when you're working in your business. Cool. Can you guys do that? Now, why do we do this? Why are relationships so important? Because relationships turn into advocates. Relationships turn into advocates. Okay. And we do that by investing time and providing outstanding service. Our goal is not that everybody buys Juice Plus or that everyone joins our team. Our goal is that everyone becomes our advocate. And an advocate is somebody who's so excited about your mission that they feel compelled to share it with other people. This is important, you guys, because this is the only approach to the business that takes somebody who says, no, I'm not interested in Juice Plus and still invests in them. Why is that? Because they can still be our advocate. They can still be, they understand what you do, the problems you solve, and they connect you with others. Just a quick, can I just go off the rails a little real quick? So Tammie's like, yeah, go off the rails. This is the good stuff when he goes off the rails. Imagine for a second, this is a example I like to give. Imagine for a second, you're not Juice Plus, you don't do Juice Plus, but you're a licensed electrician, right? Can you guys imagine that to your business? You're an electrician. How many of you currently need an electrician right now to come over and solve a problem? Nobody's raising their hand. How many of you might come across somebody in the next week or two that needs an electrician? Yeah. So if you had an electrician that was amazing, what would you do for your friend who needs one? You would advocate for them, but you must not be into electrical work since you didn't need me when I asked you and you said no. Does this make sense? The same's true for Juice Plus. Somebody may not think they need Juice Plus, but they can be fired up about what you're doing and how you're helping people. And when they come across people who need that help, they're going to say, oh my gosh, you need to talk to Tammie. This is what she does. Does this make sense? Are you guys with me? And so my thing is, everyone's going to be your advocate. Somebody says, no, thank you, Eric, I'm not interested in Juice Plus. I say, no problem. But if you come across anyone who ever needs help in this area, please let me know. I want to help as many people as I can. And I'm going to stay in touch with you just in case you need anything. Okay, cool. All right. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. And this goes back to me, this was like the most offensive. I've decided, after 2021, guys, and 2020, I don't even care anymore. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you guys what I think. I think that the way network marketing has been taught for the past 40 years is offensive, at least to me personally. Because why? Because it was so much of it was disingenuous. Does that make sense? And so for me, I refuse to do anything like that. This comes back to this principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Trust is hard to earn and easy to lose, isn't it? And so you can't afford to do anything sneaky or disingenuous. So that all the stuff we used, that we were taught for years of like, oh, let's go have coffee, let's catch up. And then out comes the binder with the business plan, right? And then that evolved over years to being something we do on social media where we hide, like, you don't put Juice Plus anywhere in your social media, just that you're changing lives and try to generate a curiosity. Oh, if you're curious, message me. And then it's like, that's the same thing as the binder at coffee 20 years ago, guys. It's the same thing. Now it's on social media. It's like, people hate that stuff, right? People hate that stuff. So don't do that stuff. You don't have to do that stuff. Relationship marketing depends on trust. We don't do anything disingenuous, right? And so if it feels, it's like my wife makes fun of me because I'm a smell tester, right? Is that food bad? Let me smell it, right? The sniff test. What do they call that? But that has come to mean everything, like the sniff test. If somebody asks you to do something and it feels weird, it's probably disingenuous. Make sense? Okay, but here's the good news. When people trust you, it's fun. The work's fun when people trust you. You don't have to convince people or sell them. You get right to helping them. Also, the trust takes the ickiness out of the sale. There's no icky. Nobody feels like an icky person. They don't feel icky. You don't feel like an icky salesperson. They don't feel icky because you bothered them, right? Like there's trust that doesn't exist. And finally, you get to go for yes. You go for yes instead of going for no. This concept that you're gonna receive hundreds of rejections. Just power through it. I was told, Eric, you got to have skin as thick as a rhino in this business. You got to have thick skin. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why? Who's going to be firing arrows at me? Do you not understand how I approach people? The point is that's what everybody thinks. No, with relationship marketing, you're going for yes. Not everyone's going to be interested right away, but they're certainly not going to be rejecting you when you're just reaching out to brighten their day. Make sense? Okay. Next piece here, I'm just going to teach you some essentials on building trust. How do you build trust? There's 4 essential ingredients. I'll go through them quickly and then I'll break them out for you. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2, character. Number 3, competence. Number 4, consistency. Okay, chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay. Hold on a second. I did something I don't like. I opened a window like in the middle of my screen. I couldn't see it. All right, here we go. See, you don't have to be a tech wizard to do this stuff. Number 1, chemistry. Chemistry is building a connection with someone. Where do you have a common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, connection is building a connection with someone. I'm sorry, chemistry is building a connection with someone. Where do you have common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? Look, there's a real simple concept in business. People prefer to do business with a friend. Okay, people prefer to do business with a friend, period. They would prefer that. So your first job is build a connection, build some rapport, right? Ask them some questions, get to know them a little bit. Now, social media gives us a shortcut, right? It lets us kind of peer into the windows of their life a little bit before we even start. So you have some idea of where there's common ground, but it's important to build chemistry. Some of you are really good at this naturally. Others on this call, it might be a little out of your comfort zone, but it's important. Okay, so be intentional about it. Number 2, character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Tammie's thinking, I thought there were 7 ingredients to trust. That's the advanced training, Tammie. It's all right. We're just doing the essentials today. Okay. Characters when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. I want you to notice something about character. This is the most important thing about your business, by the way, is your character. The most important thing. It has nothing to do with how good a person you've been in your life. We think, how many of you think, like, I have good character? It does not matter what you've done. Character is something that you do, not something that you have. It's something that you do. It's a conscious decision on a daily basis to demonstrate care for others. Okay. So think about it like this. How are you showing up? How are you demonstrating your character? Now, you can't sit in the corner and be of good character quietly and nobody knows about it. You have to be demonstrating it. So it's about how you care for others. So think about everything from how you follow up with customers, how you care for them, how you handle problems, how you communicate with people, how you drive your car on the highway. Are you courteous? Do you tip well? Are you gracious to other people? Do you return the shopping cart to the shopping cart return area? You know, that kind of stuff, right? Like, it's everywhere. Where are you showing up in your character? Because that is your brand. And people need to feel good about your character. They need to feel like they can trust you. This is so important. Now think about this. How many of you, let's just by show of hands, how many of you there's a business or a company that you've decided in the last year not to do business with because of a character conflict for you, right? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Now, you're one person, not a corporate entity. So like I said, people want to do business with a friend, and then they need to know that you care for them. Make sense? Okay. So constantly think about this. Everything that you do needs to be character. And then the relatable piece is that people need to relate to you as a person. And this really kicks in when you become a big shot, right? You know, as Tammie moves this year to NMD, she got to remember the little people, stay relatable, remember her story, right? So this is important. I work with a lot of top leaders, and sometimes they've stopped being relatable. They become celebrities, and they forget to tell the story of how they struggled and how they were unhealthy and the products made them healthy. You know, everyone just thinks they're amazing, right? Because they forget to be relatable. So that's another piece, important piece on character. Number 3 is, did you like how I affirmed that for you, Tammie? Oh yeah, this is your year. Competence is number 3. Competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. This is really important. A lot of people are Juice Plus partners. Why would I choose you? The first piece is, are you good at what you do? Do you know your products? Do you understand how they work? How, you know, why is this healthy for me to take these? Right? I mean, what is there? 22? Was it 22 studies? I can't keep up. More than that, 40 studies. See, I'm way behind. Have you read the studies? Do you know, right? This is what I'm saying. Like, you need to know what you're talking about. I have 2 tower gardens, but I have to tell you, like, tower gardens look easy, but they're not at first. Like, can you help me through this? You know, they're easy once you figure out all the little ins and outs, but I really needed someone to help me a lot in the beginning, right? So are you competent? Can you help me? This is important. You need to know that. So when you guys become Juice Plus partners, you need to learn. Okay. So that you can understand and explain the stories, understand and explain the products. And it's not just understanding product knowledge, but knowing product stories. So if you're new to the team and you're watching this, you need to get together with sideline and upline people on the team and get stories. Just have them tell you stories about how the products have impacted themselves or their customers. Okay, this is so huge, because stories is what is how you demonstrate your competence. Because you're not going to go, hey, this is really great for diabetes, but you can say, I had a customer who struggled with diabetes and saw dramatic improvement after changing her lifestyle and implementing Juice Plus, right? So you can tell the stories. So it's important. Okay. The second piece of confidence is the business aspect of it. Why should I join your team as a partner? Do I believe you can actually mentor me to success in this business? Now, maybe you're my cousin and I've seen you with your pants on backwards a couple of times. Maybe I don't think of you as a business tycoon. Does this make sense? Maybe you've, made mistakes in the past. And so I need to see that you're competent. I need to see you maybe growing in competence for a while, if that makes sense. So how do you demonstrate competence in the business? So this is showing people the little milestones that you're hitting, like when you rank up, proclaim it, tell people, hey, I ranked up. When you win a little sales award for the month, like share it on social media. I don't care if it's a free water bottle that says Juice Plus, like, hey, I got this cool water bottle. People see those milestones and they say, oh, wow. Wow, Eric's getting, he's actually doing some business over there. Maybe he figured out how to put his pants on straight. Does it make sense? And so it's kind of funny because you got to have, I had a supervisor years ago. She said, you got to have swagger like a dog, like dogs have swagger when they walk, like a dog that's just like had his meal, like they've got like a swagger. She's like, you got to have swagger like that. You got to have confidence that you can do this business. And so in the beginning, it's small milestones. Then you get up to a point where like you win a vacation, you share, oh, wow, I got a free vacation, or right. And so you start sharing those things and people are like, wow, does this make sense? Are you guys with me? Now, if you're new and you don't have any of these things, what I don't want you to do is to fake it. We never want to be fake. Remember, it's all about trust. Right? The whole fake it till you make it thing. Don't do that. What you do if you're new is you lean into your team, your upline, their competence. You say, oh my gosh, you tell their story. I'm so inspired by my leader, Tammie. She's done this. She's achieved this. It's so cool. And she's teaching me. She's mentoring me. If you join me, she'll mentor you too. Are you guys with me? And you tell the product stories. If you don't, it's so funny. I had some of you guys know my story. I did Beachbody for a little while before Teamzy took off, right? And so it's similar to Juice Plus in that it's a transformative health and wellness area. And I had somebody on my team. She was sidelined to me, but she was an Olympic athlete, right? And you guys have those in Juice Plus too, Olympic athletes. She was an Olympic athlete and then now in her 50s, she was a world-class masters athlete, like still winning silver medals and world championships. So she was like, I don't have a good story because I was never fat. Can you believe that? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I've always been a world-class athlete. I've never struggled with being unhealthy. And I'm like, and you chose these products. Like, you don't need a story. She's like, yeah, but you have such a great story because you have the before and after picture. I'm like, forget it. People would rather listen to you about this stuff. Does this make sense? So it's like, we need to get out of our own heads and understand that we've got a great story, but maybe yours is in progress. So tell other people's stories until you get your own. I'll just tell you a little side note. This is just me again, going off on a tangent. My business partner, Mike, and I were at the Juice Plus conference, and let's see, where were we? I think it was the Sacramento one a few years ago. And we were at the airport and I had my Teamzy ball cap on. So people will recognize, oh, wait a second. But so we sat down, we live in San Diego. So Sacramento, San Diego, we were done like 4 hours early. We're like, let's just go to the airport and get another flight, get home early. So we went to the airport, we were waiting standby. We decided to go into the airport bar and wait a second. And so we sit down at the bar and I'm right on the corner of the bar. And right here across from me is a young woman. She's having a drink and just, looking on her phone, just whatever. And I started talking to Mike. She heard my voice. How many of you guys would recognize my voice? Probably. She heard my voice and she looked up and she said, are you Eric from Teamzy? And I was like, I looked at her and I had my Teamzy hat on. I said, yeah. So we started talking. And I said, so were you at the conference? She had a purple Juice Plus bag. Yeah, I was at the conference, and I was like, so, how long have you been doing Juice Plus? She's like, 2 years. I'm like, oh, cool. I said, well, what's your story? What's your Juice Plus story? She says, I don't really have a Juice Plus story. You guys see where I'm going with this? I said, you don't? I said, well, I said, well, what started you? What made you decide to become a partner with Juice Plus? And she goes, oh, well, I had a neighbor who was doing it for a long time. And, she told me about it. I wasn't really interested, but it's funny because she's like, I'm a single mom and my son he's just been really sick his whole life. And they're not really sure what's wrong with him, but he just gets sick a lot. And he tends to get hospitalized like 4 or 5 times a year. And, they're pumping him full of antibiotics and stuff. And he's just always sick. And one day I was over at my neighbor's house and she has kids who are never sick. And I just said, maybe I should try Juice Plus because your kids are never sick. And so I did. And she goes, and my son hasn't been hospitalized since. In fact, he hasn't even been sick this year. And I was like, oh, and you don't have a story? And she's like, oh, I never thought of it. I'm like, are you insane? That's an amazing story. The thing is that we all have one, right? And so how many parents could relate to that story? That's what I said to her. I go, how many parents do you think would relate to that story? So it's really important, you guys, when it comes to competence, it doesn't mean that you are, Kurt Beavers 2.0. You might be someday. But right now, it's about your experience, how these products have transformed your life, and maybe the few people you've touched, how it's helped them. Does that make sense? And then how it can help others. So I just want you guys to understand competence is really important. It's how you understand your products, how they work, how they impact people's lives, starting with yours, and how the business can impact your life, even if it's just $100 a month extra money right now, and then it grows from there. Does that make sense? An extra bag of groceries. I don't know about you guys, but I went to Costco yesterday. Have you noticed the prices going up on everything? I mean, like everything I bought, because we buy this. I have 4 kids. Got a mosquito in here. Let me get him. Nobody's upset that I'm killing a mosquito, right? They're rare in San Diego. I got him. Yes. All right. Slightly competitive guy. I was at Costco the other day. We get the same things all the time. I have 4 kids and everything was $3 or $4 more than last week. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, right? And it's just like stuff that we pay the same thing every time for. It's like, well, it's $3 more, $2 more, $3 more. So, something people are noticing that. So, hey, a couple $100 a month, Juice Plus, no sweat. That makes a big difference, right? Okay, let me get off my tangent, get back to my presentation. Where are we? So here's my principle behind these. When someone's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Or are you good at what you do? And if they feel good about all 3 of these, you've got an advocate. If they're not sure yet, if they're all yeses, they'll raise objections. Okay. So when you overcome objections, which is important, objections are really good for people who are in sales, because an objection is somebody saying, I want this, but I need you to help me through a couple of emotions first. Okay. So objections are good. That means that's like, we call that buying language, but an objection means they don't know yet if all these questions are yes. So you got to keep working on that relationship to build trust, even after the sale. If somebody thinks any one of these is a no, they'll never do business with you. They'll tell everyone they know not to. Make sense? So it's not just being trustworthy, caring, and good at what you do. They need to know it. Make sense? They need to know it. So you have to demonstrate these things. Okay. Number 4 is consistency. Obviously, we got to be consistent. None of this works if you do it every once in a while, right? You got to do it consistently. I love this principle though. And that is that, I went too fast. Here we go. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. So being consistent helps you to be successful, but also being consistent attracts other people to you, because we all want it in our lives. And we think it's amazing. How many of you have been told, oh my gosh, you inspire me. I'm so inspired by you and what you're doing. And you think you're inspired by me and what I'm doing. Well, it's that consistency that's inspiring. It's that consistency. Make sense? It's that consistency. So just a real quick question on this. How many of you are consistent with, like, you know, you take your Juice Plus every day, you're consistent with your products, right? How many of you are tower gardeners? Let me see the tower gardeners. You guys, do people know that you do that? Do you share what you're doing with your towers and stuff? Okay, cool. They're such a cool gadget. I love tower gardens. I'm still waiting for the solar panel though. The tower garden solar panel. I was talking to the Juice Plus corporate people about 6 months ago, and I said, you guys need to invent. I mean, you don't have to invent it. It's already there. I know people sell it. I've seen people selling it on the side, but I said Juice Plus branded solar panel that you hook up to your tower gardens. You don't have to have the long cord, right? Just, wouldn't that be cool? Anyways, I don't know, maybe I got their wheels turning. I said, how many tower gardens have you sold? What if you could get 20% of tower gardeners to buy the solar panel? How much revenue would that be for everybody? So I tried to get him to think about that. Okay. I'd buy 2. I'd buy 2. So just, yeah. All right. So where were we? I got distracted. So you guys are doing your product's your product. That's great. That's kind of easy, right? You got to do that. How about social media? How many of you are consistently sharing on social media? Everyone is always like, I need to do that a little bit more, right? Like, social media is a gift to this business for sure. It's a gift to this business for sure. So you need to be sharing on there. Well, the real important thing is relationships, connecting with relationships consistently. That is what builds this business, right? And Zig Ziglar used to call it a checkup from the neck up, right? Asking the question, which is, are you as consistent with your relationships as those other things? And most people aren't, but that's why we built Teamzy, is to help you do that, right? Because you guys need to understand that relationship building is a contact sport, which means you need to be in regular contact with people if you want to have a relationship with them, right? You got to be in regular contact with people. But I know you only have this much time, which is why we built Teamzy. Okay. Important principle. This is the big principle of the day. Okay, I'm just going to talk about this for a minute, then we'll jump right into Teamzy. Investing time and connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, you guys have that down? Investing time, connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. So just real quick, you guys have, if you're dressed, turn your cameras on so I can see your faces for a quick second. Oh, most of you have them on. Okay, great. So how many of you have ever received like a really great card or letter from somebody that you love, where there was a handwritten message in there, and when you read that message, it was just like, oh, got you right in the heart? Has everybody, right? Okay, so you're thinking of one or two maybe right now. The next question is, do you still have it? Did you save it? Did you keep it somewhere? Okay, let me see who's got a stash, a pile of these cards and letters that you've saved over the years, right? We all do this, right? Has anyone moved homes in the last 5 years? Did you move the box of cards and letters with you? Yeah, can't throw them away, can you? It's amazing, isn't it? Now, even this is, I find these to be so amazing that we keep them. Even when we pass away, the cards and letters are the things most treasured by our families. And I bet some of you might even have a card or letter from a dear departed loved one that you've kept and cherish, right? Isn't it incredible? I had a mentor, he called it the lingering value. But lingering, I think, is diminutive. Like, they have a serious impact. Now, here's another example. And in the beginning, when the music was playing, I was desperately searching for these postcards, Tammie. I was like, where are my postcards? Have you guys ever received something like this? These are birthday postcards. These are from my insurance salesperson. He sends me one of these within about 40 days of my birthday every year. Do you guys ever get one of these from businesses? And this year, he actually sent me the same card as last year. Probably doesn't know I'm paying attention. So is it nice to get something like this from somebody? Yeah, maybe, kind of. Does this have the value of a handwritten birthday card or a card from somebody you love? Do you keep this forever? Does anyone have one of these in the family Bible as a bookmark? No, we don't value. Why don't we value this birthday postcard as much as we would like a handwritten card? So this comes back to the principle, and I know this is obvious, you guys, so bear with me. It's like my dad just called it beating the dead horse, right? I'm making an obvious point for a reason. The reason that this has minimal impact is because it required zero investment of time, and we know it, right? And it's impersonal. This is a bulk mail out. We know it's not personal. So we put almost no value on it. Just like when you go through your mail, you guys go through your mail and 2/3 of it goes in the trash without being opened because it's impersonal. It's not for you, it's bulk. And then when you get something personal, it's like, oh my gosh, right? Did you know something like 97% of millennials have never written a letter and mailed it? Have you guys heard that? Isn't that amazing? I know us old fogies were like, what? Pen pals? What happened to pen pals? My wife is like, we've got one grown, so we've already dealt with, but now we've got two, like I've got an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. She's like, when do we get them phones? Like, I want to be able to text them to say, I'm going to be 5 minutes late to pick you up. And I'm like, do we really need that? Can't they just sit on the curb and wait like we did? Right? It's things we're dealing with. Okay, that's a digression. The point about this is it took zero time and it's not personal, so we put no value on it, right? If we want to deepen a relationship, we need to invest time and it needs to be personal. So what did we build Teamzy to allow you to do? To connect one-on-one with people personally and send them a message that's going to make an impact. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to invest a lot of time. In fact, we've designed Teamzy to make it so that it's a minimal amount of time, but the impact on the other end feels like you really took some time out of your day to message them. Does this make sense? This is why Teamzy is so impactful as a daily system for your what do you guys call it? Your MO, your DMO, Yes. Everyone has a different word. IPA, DMO, you get the idea. Okay. I like IPAs after my DMO, but that's a different story. Because that IPA is a type of beer, Tammie. she's so sweet, right? Okay, so there you go. So this is what I want you to think about when you see people telling you, oh, we got a new marketing system, it's automated, it's so sexy, it's automated marketing. This is what it's going to feel like when people get it. This makes sense? Now, an automated marketing system might work for Ford Motor Company. Their business isn't built relationship by relationship like ours is. Does this make sense? And I come across people who are marketers by trade, and it's like they have to be rewired for network marketing. It's called network marketing, and that's probably the wrong word because really it's person-to-person marketing, right? It's, my dad used to say belly to belly. It's about relationships. And if we want to make an impact, we got to invest time and connect personally. That's just the big principle I want you guys to get tonight. Now I'm going to show you a really slick system so you can do it really fast and make impact and be on top of it, right? But you needed to get that concept. Okay, really quick. All right, hit the play button. Here we go. All right, so we got this one. So this is all great, but you got to have a system to it. Philosophy is not enough. You've got to have it systemized, okay? You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. You need to know when you're going to contact them, know what you're going to say to them, and make sure nobody ever falls through the cracks. Okay, that's so important. And this is exactly what we built Teamzy to do for you. So let's dive out and jump into Teamzy real quick. Oh, Eric Johnson, you have so many pages open. Oh, here it is. Okay, so as I mentioned before, if you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com/JP. Okay, teamzy.com/JP and start your free trial. Once you've logged in to the free trial, this is what it looks like. I'm sharing the first screen, which is the setup wizard. And I don't know if you know that Teamzy is a CRM system, and that's a contact relationship management system. That's big words. It's big nerdy words. But typically CRMs are the type of software people love to hate. They're so complicated. They're so bulky. They just feel like you're doing a lot of busy work. And so we made this so easy. This setup wizard is to make it super easy. So when you set up Teamzy, you can watch a little video from me. I probably need to update that. Moving on. First thing I want you to do is set an income goal. So how much income do you want to be earning in your business? Right? So you can see mine set at $150,000. Now, if you change your goal, notice in those circles, my daily targets would change. Okay. So if you slide your goal up and down, Teamzy knows exactly what you need to do to get there. So my goal was 150,000 because that was the salary I was trying to replace. Where is it? Right there. And in order to get there, these are my daily connects. 9 connects with prospects, 6 with my customers, and 4 with my partners. Okay. So I know exactly how much work to do each day. And that's 5 days a week. So once I've got that set up, I hit continue. Now Teamzy is, I took too long. Let me just give this a refresh. Teamzy is now set up to my goals. So each one of you will have a customized dashboard to your goals. Okay. They'll all be different. The next thing we want to do is get our contacts into Teamzy. So it's pretty cool. There's some like instructional videos here, but we've made this super easy. So the first group you want to import are your partners. So you want to get, and there's instructions here on how to do it. Just click on back office. We want to get your partners from Juice Plus imported. We want to get your customers from Juice Plus imported. And then you want to get your, for your prospect list, get your Facebook list in. How many of you guys use Facebook? You can do Instagram too. And we have this new thing, which is really cool. If you use Chrome, you can just click on this and you can immediately just sync up your Facebook contacts with one click. Pretty cool. If you don't use Google Chrome, then you can just there's some instructions here that you can get on how to do it in other browsers, which is pretty cool too. Yeah. So what happens, which is really neat, is when you get all your contacts into Teamzy, you're not looking at sticky notes, pads of paper, spreadsheets you haven't updated since 2018, right? You're not digging through your phone, looking through like, who did I message this week, trying to figure it out. They're all in one place, organized. Teamzy lives in the cloud, which means you always have access to it in your phone, your computer, anywhere you can get to the internet. And something else that it does, which is pretty amazing, is it actually has kind of this special algorithm so that you can't miss anybody. Like you can't forget somebody for very long. Like nobody falls through the cracks, right? And I'll show you this in a second. Okay, so let's get launched. So here's the Teamzy for Juice Plus dashboard. And again, I'm on my computer. If you're on your phone, it would just look very different, but it still works great on your phone. And for those of you who don't, work off of a desktop computer much. So, but I'm going to just walk you through this really quickly. I know some of you already use Teamzy, but the first thing I want to show you here is where it says today's activities. See this little rectangle right across the top middle here? Today's activities. This is what I need to get done today. Okay. Now Teamzy focuses only on today because it's the only day you've got. So we set a goal for a year, right? But now it's telling me what to do today. This is important. How many of you want to have a business that's big? Anyone want to grow a business that's big? Okay. If you want a business that's big, you got to have a focus that's small. Okay. It's like, if your goal was to win a bodybuilding competition, you got to do today's workout, today's nutrition, right? It's going to take time. So you take your big goal, you get your focus small. So Teamzy's telling me, based on my goal, I want to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 partners today. You can see I've got all zeros. I haven't done any work yet. Okay. But this dashboard's kind of cool because it shows me visually the progress I'm making. So just really quick, what do I mean by connects? I just got into like a little text battle with somebody today who was arguing with me about this. I don't know if he was arguing. It was a discussion. And he was saying, why do I need a follow-ups list? Because I'm following up with prospects, customers, and partners. No. It's that word follow-up is confusing. See, I call it connect because all we want you to do is reach out and connect. We want you to make their day. That's it. Make their day. I call it the make someone's day mindset. I want you to be in the make someone's day mindset. And I'm going to show you that our scripts are make someone's day scripts. I actually have a client. That's a consulting client of mine for 15 years. She calls them MSDs, make someone's days. She says, Eric, I'm up to 20 MSDs a day. I go, it sounds like a drug. She goes, it feels like a drug. It's really fun to do. How many of you have found it's really fun once you get into it? Yeah. So those are connects. We're just connecting with our prospects, our customers, and our partners just to build a relationship, staying in touch, just keeping the conversation going. Okay, does this make sense? Then I've got a goal to share. See this share goal? Mine's 3 a day. You can set it to whatever you want. A share is when you share the business opportunity or you share a product solution with somebody, or maybe both. Okay, so those are shares. So sending somebody a video from corporate, that's not a share. That's I sent them a video. The share is when we have a conversation. Are you interested? Let's talk, right? Does it make sense? So shares are a high quality communication. So that's why my goal on shares isn't that high, because I know I'm not going to get that many a day, but I have a goal to do so. Make sense? When appropriate. Then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy every day. This is an important concept. Adding new people to your list on a daily basis is such an important habit to get into, because even if you know 3,000, 4,000 people already, you still need to be putting new people in Teamzy. It's like the lifeblood of the business. It's energy, right? And so your business is like a beautiful lake teeming with fish, but if there's no fresh water coming into the lake, everything goes stagnant and dies, right? You're looking at the Dead Sea. How many of you guys have been to the Dead Sea? Anyone been to the Dead Sea? It's on my bucket list. I haven't gotten out there yet. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you how to do this. So those are my goals for the day: prospects, customers, partners, shares, and ads. Okay. In a perfect world, I would do all those and I would see 100% complete right here. So here's how we do it. I'm going to scroll down a little. See the power hour section here? So this gives me my list: prospects, customers, partners, and my follow-ups list. I'll get to that in a second. The left-hand side shows me who to connect with. The right-hand side is where I log what I message them so that it's tracked in Teamzy. So I track as I go. So it tells me who to connect with, and then I log it and tracks as we go. Are you guys with me? Now, the way people come up on this list is a very simple algorithm. We rank our people on a 5-star scale. You can see Tammie's a 5-star because she's so awesome. And people could be 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and so on. That sets priority for the system. So the 5 stars obviously come up first, then the 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s, right? But then they cycle back on this list automatically. 5-star people come back in 30 days, 4-star people in 60 days, 3-star people in 90 days. You guys see where I'm going with this? 2-star people, 120 days. This is so important because if I message Tammie, which I'm going to do right now, I'll show you how to do it, and she doesn't respond to me, I don't need to message her 6 more times and ask her, did you get my message? Right? Because that's super annoying. Right? Plus, it's hard for me to keep track of. But what happens is if I message her and she doesn't respond, she just comes back on my list in a month and I can message her again then. Are you guys with me? Or maybe she's 5 stars, so it'll be a month. Maybe it's 2 months, maybe it's 3 months. No big deal. Or let's say she does respond and we have a little chit chat going back, but for whatever reason, I lost it. I lost track of that conversation somewhere in my day. Does this ever happen to you guys? And then when she comes back next month, I'm like, oh my gosh, we had an ongoing chat and I dropped it. I can pick it right back up again. She didn't get lost very long. So it's really cool. Okay. So that's how it cycles through. So let me show you guys how to do this real time. First person that comes up on my list is Tammie. I'm going to send her a message. Maybe you don't know what to message her. Does anybody get stuck here? So after Teamzy was out about a year, I had people asking me like, Eric, you did a team call on it. You made it sound so easy. And then I stare at my screen and I can't send anything. So I ended up putting all my scripts in Teamzy for you. So you guys will find these in here. Click on scripts. And then what type of script do you want? I'm going to use Facebook. So there it is. And I'm going to just pick the first one on the list, connect number 1. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Okay, super simple. These scripts took like 20 years to refine. They work so well. Okay, so have any of you guys used these scripts and seen how well they work? Yeah. So just copy it. Again, they're not cheesy sales scripts. We're not about that. We just want to make someone's day. We want them to get this and smile. That's it. Okay. And hopefully they'll respond. And so we can have a conversation with them. Now, what I did was I clicked on copy script. Now you could go straight to Facebook and send it, but I like to paste it in Teamzy so that I can edit it here, get the name right. Jane is our fictional customer. So a lot of our scripts say to Jane. So change the name. Make sure you use the first name. Whenever you start a new chat with somebody, always use their first name. It comes back to this concept of it being personal and not sound like a spammy bulk message. Okay. And then, if you don't like any of the script, you can write pieces of it if you want. However, like I said, it's been refined down to its essence, but I will definitely put a couple of emojis in here, just to personalize it a little bit. So any emojis you like, just personalize it a little bit. Right. So there. So now I've got it the way I want it. I'm going to copy it again so I can actually just go send it to her on Facebook, which I have right here. We're going to look her up. There she is. And you can see I actually already have her up. So we'll just send her the message. There it is. And just hit send. See how easy that is? And just toggle back over to Teamzy and finish logging it. Hit the big blue log connect button, done. Now look what happened. I've got 1 done, 8 left, starting to fill in. Jay's next. I'll just send her the same message, drop it in there, change the name to Jay. I've already got my emojis. Do you guys see how quick you can get on this? Don't overthink this script. You can send the same script to 3,000 people. Just change the name. It's just hello. Haven't you said hello to thousands of people? Okay, now the conversation that happens will be organic and it'll go wherever it goes. So there's Jay. We're going to now send her the message. Great. Boom, there it goes. Logged. So I just toggle back and forth. You can see in my browser, I've got Facebook open. I just toggle back and forth. You can do the same thing on your phone. So look at this. I've got 2 done. See how this blue circle's filling in. So I'm going to work down my list until that circle's all the way blue. That shows me visually I've hit my goal for messaging prospects today. Okay, so my goal is 9. So when I've sent 9 messages, I'll just keep sending that message. When I've sent it 9 times, that circle will be blue, and I'll toggle over to customers. Now, some people will start responding right away. Don't run off and have a conversation yet. Get all the outgoing messages done first. Otherwise, you'll get stuck having the great conversation, and you'll have 1 conversation today, which is not what you want, right? I'm going to send, my goal is to send 19 messages today. So I should be in at least 10 conversations by the end of the day. Some days it'll be all 19 and you'll be like, wah! It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Now I've toggled over to my next list, which is my customers list. I'm going to start messaging my customers. First one on my list is Brandy. I'll go to scripts to get some ideas. Now Teamzy knows that you're in customers, so it's changed the scripts for you. So there's some good scripts for customers. Look at this one. Congratulations on great results. Do you guys ever do shred 10 groups? Yeah. Great job. You lost 10 pounds. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Right? Can you think of a better way to talk about Juice Plus than that? I love this one too, which is just a simple one. This is great for customers. You're like, I don't know what to say to them. Hi, John, how are you enjoying the product? So take out the word products and put in what they're using. Right? How are you enjoying your Juice Plus? How are you enjoying your Tower Garden? Please send me an update. Let me know I can be of help. Just so simple, right? Just so simple. A lot of people will see your posts about all the new products that Juice Plus just released. And when you send that message, how are you enjoying that? They're going to say, great. And I saw your post the other day about the new products. You guys will be shocked. There will be people, unless you haven't posted about them. Have you guys posted about them? Calling people out. I see, how many friends I have in my Facebook feed that are Juice Plus? So I know some people are posting about them. Okay. And then my favorite one is this one, which is just, hi Jane, just checking in and see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Now, people love that one. So look, here's my message. I copied that one. I'm going to send it to Brandy, right? So simple, change the name. Got it. Great. And I'm going to go send it on Facebook and then log it here. And then the same thing, I'm going to work my way down my customer list until that circle's pink. Then I'm done connecting with customers for the day. If you guys have 3 customers total, then you're going to be done with this quick. And what you're going to do is in Teamzy for the next few months, you're just going to add that customer number to your prospect number. Okay. Same thing if you don't have partners. We're going to get to partners next. If you don't have customers or partners because you're new, then you're going to put all your goal on prospects for now. Okay. And then as the team builds, you'll rebalance it out. Okay. The next group is partners. So I'm going to go connect with my partners. Same thing, send them a message. Can I do anything for you today? How the heck are you? You didn't show up for the awesome Teamzy training last night. Are you okay? Something terrible must have happened. Is everything okay? Just reaching out and connecting with your team. It's important. And this is why we named it Teamzy, by the way, because how many of you guys have like an amazing life in mind? Yeah. Well, for step one is you got to build a team. Then with the team in place, you can create the business you've always wanted, which helps you create the life you've always wanted. But team is the heart of it, isn't it? Team is the heart of it. So it's important that we build our team. And here's the dirty little secret that our industry doesn't like to talk about. And that is the retention of partners is horrible. People quit all the time, right? So I'm not the only person who's going to teach you, here's how to get prospects, here's how to get customers, but I may be the only one talking about how to keep the partners you've already recruited. And it's through relationship. If you can go read any book you want on productivity, worker motivation, everything, the number one thing that keeps people connected and motivated is relationship, community, right? And when that's gone, oh my gosh, in our lead program that Tammie recently went through, one of the books we read was Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. Has anyone ever read Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek? He talks about how a good leader creates a circle of trust where the team feels protected. They feel safe. And when that trust is violated, you can never get it back. And this happens in companies all the time, right? This happened with me. I worked for a company for 10 years. I just love this company. People said, what are you going to do after this? I'm like, I'm never leaving. This is right. I felt so connected. Well, when a recession hit, that company, they were able to lay people off like with 24 hours of thinking about it. They're like, oh, we're just going to lay off people. And it was like, boom, no longer feel safe, right? We're in an environment where you can just be laid off. So it changed the dynamic of the company permanently, right? Simon Sinek actually talked about this in his book. He talked about GE. GE was like the greatest American corporation ever, right? And in the 1980s, when it was run by Jack Welch, he destroyed the culture of GE. He made it so that nobody felt safe. His philosophy was you fire the bottom 10% every month. Nobody felt safe. There was no trust. There was no culture. And now GE is like a total joke. It's a disaster of a company, right? It used to be the greatest company in the world. Jack Welch got rich. A bunch of other people got rich, but he destroyed this. Are you guys with me? So I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. The point is, we got to invest in our partners. We need to let them know we love and care about them and are thinking about them. And it's not just about prospecting, but it's about checking in on them too. So when you get to the third list in Teamzy, boom, you message your partners. You're up on Teamzy today, Tammie. How the heck are you? How's your day going? I get it all the time. Guess what, Eric? You're on my Teamzy today. I love seeing that. I don't mind. I feel honored that people have put me on their Teamzy list. Right? And your teammates will feel the same way, that you care enough. So prospects, customers, partners, that's the first half of the power hour. You're just sending these messages. It's super easy. Oh my gosh, it'll be done so quick. My goal at $150,000 a year is 19 messages. That's 15 minutes work once you get in the flow, right? So you're just sending messages, just sending messages. Those are done. People are receiving those. Those are like smiles for their day, just coming into the inbox. The second half of your power hour is working your follow-ups list. Now let's go through this really quick because I haven't talked about this. When you get to your follow-ups list, it's empty. Nobody automatically goes there. So how do you get people on the follow-ups list? Let me just give you a quick example. So I'm messaging people, making their day. And so the first person I message is Tammie. Great. She gets the message. She smiles. That was so nice. She responds, thanks so much, Eric. That was so nice of you to reach out. Right? You guys get messages like, you get responses like that. It's like, now what do I do, Eric? And people message me like, now what do I do? They responded. It's like, have a conversation with them. So I want you guys to think of it like this. You walk into the, so funny, years ago, this is how long I've been teaching this. I used to say, imagine you bump into somebody at Blockbuster Video. Do you guys remember Blockbuster Video? I used to always bump into people at Blockbuster Video. That was the best place for bumping into people. Well, you're going to Blockbuster. Hey, what are you guys renting? So imagine you're bumping into somebody like that in person, but it's on social media. So you say, oh my gosh, how are you? And they say, oh, thanks, I'm doing great. And then what would you say next? You don't need to message me, just have a conversation with them, right? Just have a conversation with them. Just try to keep it light and just chat with them a little, get to know them again. Some people you maybe haven't talked to in a while, right? And so, but I will give you one of what I think is like a secret weapon as far as just an easy phrase to get the conversation going is I just ask them, what have you been up to? Send me an update. What have you been up to? Send me an update. Now, there's two things that happen there. It sounded really simple, right? There's two really important like psychological things I did. I asked an open-ended question, which by the way, open-ended questions are annoying. So I'm just telling you guys, because you'll hear lots of people go, ask open-ended questions. They're super awkward and annoying because they put people in an uncomfortable place. But when you follow it with a directive, which is here's exactly how to comfortably answer this question, then people love it. So I said, what have you been up to? Send me an update. So I told them how to answer it. And then it's like, oh, so what do? It's like the Christmas letter. Oh, well, I'm working here and I'm doing this and the kids are into soccer and this is going on. They just do it, right? Because you told them what to do. I learned this from my business partner, Mike Lopez, who's like a communication expert, is the directive. That was the missing piece. So try that. What have you guys been up to? Send me an update. Or do you have any big plans coming up for the upcoming weekend? What are you guys doing? So like, it's Halloween this weekend. If they have small kids, ask them like, are you guys doing anything fun? Like it's something specific that's easy for them to talk about. And then you're in a conversation and now you can ask more questions and be interested and you can learn all kinds of stuff about people. So the goal of a conversation is to learn about what's going on in their lives. And people will usually unpack a lot of it if you ask a few questions and encourage them. And they'll unpack a lot of what's going on. And that may reveal ways you can help them with Juice Plus, right? Maybe not though. Maybe not, that's okay. It's not gonna all happen on the first conversation every time. But what happens that's magical is when I'm talking to Tammie and she gives me an update on her life, and we're just having some banter, what does she expect me to do now? Give her an update on my life, right? People always go, Eric, how do I talk about Juice Plus? How do I weave it into the conversation? Like you're waiting to pounce, right? You're like the lion waiting to pounce on your prey. No, just have it. So this is the law of reciprocity. Tammie told me about what's going on in her life. I'm going to tell her what's going on in my life. Juice Plus happens to be part of it. No big deal. Back to the beginning of our call. Remember the electrician example? If I was an electrician, would it be a weird thing for me to go, did you know I'm an electrician? No, it wouldn't be weird at all. So why are you worried about saying, did you know I do Juice Plus? It's the same difference. Okay. Now, both can help Tammie. She needs electricians and she needs Juice Plus. Okay, with me? So, here's what's going on with us. We're doing this. And, my kids have a big Halloween festival tomorrow at their school. They're going in their costumes and they're going to bring pumpkins to decorate. Like it's going to be super fun. My wife and I went today and made goodie bags for 2 hours at the school. Like this is really, I'm giving you guys actually what's happening with me tomorrow. Like I'm unpacking it. Oh, did I also tell you about my my home-based business that I started recently? I partnered with a company called Juice Plus. Have you ever heard of them? It's an amazing company. And it's been really a blessing to our family because not only have these products really helped us, I mean, and you tell them your story, right? They've really helped us this way. But it's been an awesome business because as I share it with other people and help them in the same way that it helped us, like we get income, which is great. And through the pandemic and all this weird stuff that's been happening, we've had steady income, which has been awesome. I'm super excited about it. Right? Do we need to make it harder than that, you guys? So write this down. Here's how you do it. You tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Whatever those reasons are for you, what you do and why you're passionate about it. But you don't tell them like, I partnered with health. I'm a health and wellness guru who likes to activate people's inner vibrational energies to like, don't be weird like that. Say, I partnered with a company called Juice Plus. This is what we do. This is why I love it. This is why I'm passionate about it. Are you guys with me? Because if I was an electrician, I wouldn't go, I solve electrical interference problems and in people's, right? I would say I'm an electrician. This is just a pet peeve of mine. When people are like, I'll go to like their Facebook page and they'll be like, I activate the inner strength of women. It's like, great. I love that. How? Like, what is it? People go, oh, Eric, well, I can't put Juice Plus on there because, oh my gosh, people are going to Google Juice Plus and they're going to find the review by one guy in Kansas who didn't like Juice Plus and never talked to me again. What? You guys are missing the point. People trust you. They're not Googling Juice Plus and reading review. They're going to talk to you. 90% of purchases are based on a friend's recommendation. It's your relationship that matters. Make sense? Are you guys with me? Okay. So I'm telling her what's going on in my life. I tell her about Juice Plus, why I'm so passionate about it. Her response, 99%, I would say 100% of the time, is good for you. That's great, Eric. Wow. I'm excited for you. Okay. So instead of her running for the hills because I'm a network marketer, and then here comes another one, she's like, okay, that's really cool. Now she might still be a little bit skeptical and jaded because of past experiences, but at this point, she's waiting for the shoe to drop, and I'm not going to throw it at her like other people would. But what I am going to do is just say, yeah, it's been amazing, and Tammie, if you ever come across anybody who needs help in these areas, or even if you'd like to learn more, just let me know and I'll get some more information. Get you some more information. Okay. You just give it to them like, let me know if you'd ever like to learn more about it. That's it. She can say, okay, great. Most people go, okay, I will. But you've planted that seed in there. Now, some people though will say, I would like to learn more about this. And this is what happened in my experience is there were people that said things like, I've been looking for an opportunity. Let's talk some more. Why are they suddenly interested in my opportunity? It's because it's me, someone they know and trust, right? Not because the 3 sentences I said about Juice Plus were so compelling, but it's like, wow, he found something that he loves and he's really enjoying it. Let me learn more about it. So you will find people that go, yeah, I would like to learn more. So great. So let's pretend that's Tammie. She sees the opportunity right away. This is great. Let's talk more. Okay, great. So now when I talk to Tammie and I actually do my share where I ask her a ton of questions, find out what she needs, what she's looking for, what she wants in her life. And then I present a solution for her through Juice Plus. Great. That's a share. Now I'm going to come back in Teamzy and log that I shared the business opportunity and the products with her. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So she's not on my dashboard anymore because she's already cycled, but I can look her up in this lookup bar. There she is. Okay. And once I'm on her record, then I can log the share. I'm going to open up a Connect box. I'm going to log this as a video chat because I most likely would have done it on the Zoom. Notes from our Zoom, unless she's local. The local thing doesn't happen as much anymore, right? Where you can go connect at coffee. It's on Zoom a lot. So I would be taking all the notes as we talked in here, right? So, and I would usually say, do you mind if I take notes? So because I want to make sure I capture everything that you're telling me. So, because they'll hear the clickety clack, the keys. So I'll ask them, do you mind if I take notes? And I'll take notes. So I'll capture her goals. I typically, and I don't have time to go into this deep, but typically I would have a whole list of questions that I would prepared ahead of time that I would always ask on this call. Because if you just dive into here's Juice Plus opportunity, like it's not a one size fits all. Everybody has different goals and needs. So find out exactly what they need and then present the tailored solution to it. Oh, I think you could achieve this. Are you with me? Okay. But what I'm going to do here is as I put in my notes, see on the bottom left where it says share, I'm going to click on that because this isn't just a regular connect where we're just chatting. I'm actually sharing the business opportunity. So I'm going to toggle this on to business opportunity. Okay, great. As soon as I shared it, it automatically put her on my follow-ups list. Now, what that means is it took her off of prospects. She's no longer in prospects. I mean, not on my dashboard. She won't come back on prospects. She's on follow-ups. Okay. Now it defaulted to 2 days, but I'm going to change it to tomorrow. So when I'm talking to her, she's excited. She's like, I'm going to sign up right now. I said, okay, great. I tell you what, I'll check in with you tomorrow, Tammie, and see if you have any questions. She says, great. So I've told her I'm going to follow up tomorrow. I've put her on my follow-up list for tomorrow. Now, when I log this connect you can see it logged the video chat and it planned the follow-up for tomorrow. Okay. Which reminds me, I'm just looking at that date. It's my dad's birthday. I can't forget. Okay. So if I go to my dashboard, you can see a couple things. One of the shares logged, and on my follow-ups list, there's Tammie due for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, really quick, and then we'll do quick Q&A. Tomorrow, I'm coming through here, connecting with prospects, customers, partners, just like I showed you. And then I get to my follow-ups list. I see who's due. I see Tammie's due. So now I'm going to send Tammie a follow-up. The follow-up message is just like sending a connect. It's just as easy, you guys. Let me just show you how easy this is. Go to your scripts, okay, and get one called follow-up. So here it is, follow-up number 1. I have 10 in here. They're numbered in order. So you send 1, then 2, then 3. Okay, you with me? Super easy. Follow-up number 1, it reads, "Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me?" Okay. So this is an important script. It's probably my favorite script in all of Teamzy because it just communicates your heart in such a succinct way. So just checking in is non-threatening, right? Just checking in. It's non-threatening. But why are you doing it? Because I promised I would. Okay. What questions do you have for me? It communicates, this is all about you. Okay. It's not about me wanting that $30 commission that I'm chasing right now. Right. It's all about you. So these scripts are all structured that way to communicate your heart in a certain way. Does this make sense? Okay. So I'm going to copy that script. Great. And then I'm just going to send this to Tammie. We're going to change the name to Tammie. Did I get rid of my comma? I did. So there it is. Okay. You with me? Copy that. Send her the message. Boom. And then on Teamzy, you're going to log this. Now, because it's on the follow-ups list, a little different. So let me show you. When I click on Log Connect, it says, did this complete? It's asking you, did it complete the follow-up schedule for today? So yes, I'm going to leave that check because it does. But then I want to add another follow-up. See, I want to keep her on the follow-ups list. Now that I've shared with her, she should stay on the follow-ups list. I don't want her back in the prospect cycle. This is like the pipeline. She's interested. She should stay on my follow-ups list. So I'm going to set a new follow-up, let's say for Monday. Okay, great. So I'll set it for Monday. I'll leave myself a note that it's going to be FU2. By the way, that means follow-up number 2. Okay. I know, Tammie, I know you're not in New York. You're in Seattle, right? So I had a whole group of New Yorkers the other day and they all died on that one. They were like, oh my gosh. Okay, so that's just my little note to myself. So when I create this, okay, great. So I'm checking off today's follow-up. I'm scheduling a new one for Monday where I'll do follow-up number 2. So now look at what happens. You can see she's due on Monday. See the little note, follow-up number 2? So on Monday, what I'm going to do, I don't even have to think. I come right in here and I go to follow-up number 2. And I send her that one. Do you guys see how easy this is? Really, we've made this as easy as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to create conversations every day by connecting, making people's day. Those conversations, some of those will lead to a share. Those people go on a follow-ups list. That's your pipeline of interested people. Okay. And this is how it works. I always talk about, it's about momentum. This is what momentum in the business looks like. Creating conversations every day by connecting. Continuing ongoing conversations every day where you've connected and now it's leading towards a share, right? Sharing on a regular basis and then following up on the share on a regular basis. Those 4 things, if you're doing those 4 things consistently, every month you're going to see people buy, you're going to see people sign up every month like clockwork. That's how people get to those numbers, right? And so it's an hour a day, reaching out, starting new conversations, keeping the conversations going that you already started, following up with people who are interested. And you don't have to even think about it. Honestly, it's not like I'd ever wake up my head on the pillow and go, I can't, I'm messaging Tammie today. I didn't even know. I'd log into Teamzy and be like, who am I messaging? Oh, there it is. Boom. And then check the history and go. Does this make sense? Okay. So I know there's a lot more I could probably show you guys, but it's really important. I just want to say one thing on follow-ups. The fortune really is in the follow-up, and you have to understand that you need to follow up a lot with those people. Like even Tammie in this situation, she's super excited on the share, but it's still going to take me a lot of follow-ups generally to get her signed up. And the average is 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. So that's not connects, that's the follow-ups. That's after the share. So be prepared to follow up 7 to 10 times with every single person you put on that follow-ups list. You won't be annoying because you're going to use my scripts, right? My scripts, I guarantee you, won't annoy people. They will be happy to use them because they follow simple principles to not be annoying, so that people understand you're there because you care, right? Like I always say, following up is an act of love, because that's how you help people in this business. If you truly believe that Juice Plus is going to be transformative in their life, but they haven't purchased it, the only way to get them there is by following up. So that's how you're loving them. Make sense? And when you give up because you feel like they're ghosting you, by the way, I don't like that term because I don't believe 99% of people do that. They're just not responding because their life is happening, right? But when you give up because you're irritated, they haven't responded, you message them 4 times, they haven't responded, you're communicating, I don't care about you, sorry. Right? How many of you guys have raised kids or in the process? Can you imagine if you stop telling your kids to brush their teeth after 4 times? They wouldn't have any teeth. Right? They wouldn't have any teeth. My kids wouldn't have any shoes. Like they have to be told millions of times. Grown-ups are the same way. So just be patient, love them through it. Understand that you're going to message people 6, 7, 8 times before they respond. But don't put any thought into it. Just when they come up on Teamzy, it says, message this person, message that person, go to the next thing. Does this make sense? Okay, real quick, I'm going to give you guys some action steps. And then if you have some questions, I'll hang out for a minute. Just talking about Teamzy real quick. We already did this slide. Let me go to the next one. So talking about Teamzy really quick. Some of the things that you get, again, you get that free trial at teamzy.com/JP. Okay. She's holding up my book. We'll talk about that too. So with Teamzy, you get a complete CRM, but you also get that cool Power Hour module that really focuses your DMO every day. So you'll be able to find every contact, customer, and conversation. No more notepads or sticky notes. You'll have the intelligent module to crush your Power Hour, to be able to view and track all your leads, get your team motivated, and see your performance as you go. So that's pretty cool. You have all that in one place. Also, you'll have my scripts library at your fingertips as you're reaching out, connecting with people. It's all there to really help you get out of your own way, right? These scripts, again, they're designed for Facebook, Messenger, text, any type of touch point. There's even, I don't know if you guys noticed when I was in scripts, but there's even scripts for handwritten note cards to get you started. Yeah. Some people don't know how to write a handwritten note card. There's lots of reasons, to do that. Okay. Also a collection of conversation starters, staying in touch, reconnecting, things like that. And you can also create your own scripts and save them in Teamzy, which is pretty cool. And you guys may notice that in Juice Plus, there's scripts in Spanish included. And those were not done by me. Those were done by a big team in Puerto Rico, big Juice Plus team in Puerto Rico. They translated those scripts and then sent them back to me. And then I added them to everyone in Juice Plus so that they're there, which is pretty cool, right? So just in time, because I know you guys are expanding south of the border. So those are there for you guys. Also included with your Teamzy subscription are some of my trainings. Has this training tonight been helpful for you guys? So obviously Teamzy, I don't know if you know this, but we do trainings that come at an additional cost. Things like our boot camp and our lead program, right? Like boot camp's like our flagship program. But there's also some trainings that are included in your Teamzy subscription because I just think they're so powerful. So one of them is this set, the Ultimate Mindset Training Suite. It's 4 trainings. It's actually all the goal setting training you're ever going to need. And Tammie, you did some of these for lead, right? You went through some of these trainings, the BHAGs training, the SMART Goals training.
They're all amazing. The Art of Conversations. Oh my gosh.
So these trainings are available to you with your Teamzy subscription. So you can go in and set goals and stuff. It's really cool. Also, there's a training on helping you to uncover your why. The why is the emotional reason why we're in the business. I believe this is the reason why turnover is so high in our business. So you need to figure out like, what's the deep emotional reason that's motivating you to do stuff. And when it's in your face on the days you don't feel like doing it, sometimes that's all you need to get it done. Does that make sense? Now my son Cruz, who's 11 now, when I was doing network marketing, he was 4 and just so dang cute. He's still cute, but you know how cute 4-year-olds are. And so I used to tell him, you need to ask daddy if he did his Power Hour today. And so like, that was so powerful. He would come in and be like, daddy, did you do your Power Hour? I'd be like, dang it. Now I got to go do it. Right. So whatever you need to do, but you need to uncover your why. And also some more training on relationship marketing like we did tonight. That's all available to you in your Teamzy subscription. So check that out. Okay, really quick action steps. So go to teamzy.com/JP, start your 14-day free trial. If you're already in a free trial, get your subscription set up so you don't miss a beat when the trial ends. And keep in mind, I don't know if it's on my slide, but keep in mind we have a special rate for Juice Plus partners. It's a third off the normal rate. So the normal rate for Teamzy is $29.99 a month, which is $1 a day to have your whole business planned for you, right? Your own personal assistant. But for Juice Plus partners, it's $19.95. So it's like 60 cents a day. Pretty cool, right? You write that off your taxes, you're good to go. And then if you really love Teamzy, you can buy it a year at a time and save even more. So definitely get in there. I highly recommend you get a success partner or two to work Teamzy with you. We do this in my high level trainings. We do the success partners. It's so effective. It's kind of like my 4-year-old saying, did you do your power hour, right? So what happens is you take a screenshot of Teamzy when you're done, you send it over to your success partner. Did mine. It's right. And you're just like, oh, dang it. I can't even tell you how many times that worked for me where I was, done for the day. I'm getting in my bed and my phone and look, and it was like that screenshot. And so my wife's like, what are you doing? We're in bed. I'm playing on my phone. I'm like, I'm just doing a quick power hour. Right? Just sending messages. Done. Put my phone down in the morning, you get all those responses. It's all good to go. But success partner makes it happen. Without success partners, we tend to do very little. We let ourselves down all the time, don't we? Have you guys noticed how much we let ourselves down, but how hard we work to impress others? So it's okay. I'm not pointing that out as a deficiency. I think that we're designed that way. Honestly, I believe we're designed for service. And that's why serving others is how you feel the most happy. It's by design, right? So leverage it for your own success. Build those systems into your life. And then finally, I'm going to give you guys a 5-day challenge. I can hear my puppy scratching at the door. He wants me. I have a 8-month-old Rottweiler puppy. Sounds cute, right? He's like 77 pounds already. He's a big boy. So when he scratches, like, okay, so 5-day challenge. Here's the challenge. I want you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. I want to use Teamzy for 5 days in a row and message 20 people a day. Okay. Doesn't have to all be prospects. It can be a mix of team and customers, but I want you to send 100 messages over 5 days. What's going to happen is you are going to have a visceral, I said it wrong, visceral. You're going to have it's going to be visceral. Like you're going to create so much momentum in 5 days. It's going to be mind blowing. Some of you are going to be irritated with me because you've got too many messages to handle. But I want you guys to feel that. I want you to understand what you're capable of doing in 5 days. And so when you think, oh, it's a slow time of year, or whatever, supply chain issues, or like all the excuses people come up with to mask the fact they're not doing anything in their business, I want you guys to know, like, you can't believe those stories anymore because you know what can be done in just a few days. Does this make sense? And I will tell you, everyone that's taken this 5-day challenge, it's been mindset changing for them because there's no more slow seasons. There's what you decide to do or not. Make sense? Okay. You guys in? All right. So let me just stop this share for a second. And if you have some questions or you want me to show you anything, go deeper, anything for the next few minutes, unmute your microphone and ask away. I'm happy to go through anything.
Okay, I guess it's just me. So, first of all, I'm so grateful, and pages of notes. So I don't know if it's because I'm 53 or I don't know what it is about like the whole social media thing. I have a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth about social media. And then also I'm not one of these people that's like on it 24 hours a day, or, like I've heard people say I have to manage my time because I could just be on social media forever.
Right.
I don't have any of that. Like I've had a Instagram account for years. I've like posted like one thing. So I always kind of grew up with the whole, once you put it out there, it's not a surprise anymore. But then I also get where you're coming from about being able to openly talk about it because it's not a surprise anymore. But when you said one of the best ways to build this business is to do it one-on-one, like that's how I built, like, I mean, all the people that are on my team and all my customers was because I actually picked up the phone and called them. And so Barb and I have had this talk a million times, and she's actually brought it up one time and said, what do you think Eric would want you to do? Like, you need to go on. It's listed in my profile. There are mentions. It's not that I don't hide it, but I'm not on there talking about my team. I'm not on there listing promotions. And I think it's because I have I have like 160 Juice Plus friends, and I feel like they're just soaking the market. And it's like, you see a challenge where they're like, okay, do this. And then I just see it plastered everywhere. And I don't know. How do I just signed up for a media course. It's like, I want to get over this, that I have this gross like feeling in my stomach about putting it out there.
Yeah. So you don't have to make social media like your main strategy, but you're definitely missing an opportunity.
I know I am.
So just think of it this way. First of all, you have 120 Juice Plus friends, but your friends don't.
True.
So like I was joking about how many people are sharing the new stuff. But yeah, I have lots of Juice Plus friends, but the people who look to you they don't share those friends. Right. And if they do, they're probably doing Juice Plus with the people who are sharing it.
Truth to that.
Here's the thing about social media. People go to social media. There's a few reasons. Now, you don't have to be like, I teach this in my boot camps. I'm going to give you guys the simple thing. You can post one time a day and it can be very effective. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be doing stories and reels and all that. Like you're never going to get there, Tammie. Based on what you just told me, you're never going to get to doing stories 5 times, 6 times, 10 times a day, doing real videos. That's not going to be you ever. So please don't spend any money taking a social media class on learning that, because you're not going to do that. So I just gave you permission to opt out of that.
Thank you. Okay.
Some people are into that, right? So like when I talk to my real estate people, which is my primary business outside of network marketing, is helping real estate people. I explained that, it's about creating conversations, and your marketing creates conversation. This is my marketing funnel, right? So some people do a lot of social media, which creates conversations. Some people do a lot of one-on-one contact, and it's like, what's your mix? But you need to do a little bit of each. So you need to have a presence on social media. What happens is, Tammie, Janet says, you need to talk to my friend Tammie. She's my Juice Plus person. She's amazing. Then she says that to me. The first thing I do is I look you up on social media. Social media is how we check you. So first thing I do is look you up on social media, and I'm going to make a judgment on whether I relate to you or not based on that. Right. So that's one thing that social media is like, used to be like you put your name in a yellow pages. Now it's social media. So your social media page, whatever your primary thing is, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, that's where people are going to look first, just to see who you are and what you're about. So you need to make sure that you have something like that so that they can get that. Now, the other thing is I look at social media like this, like people like to know what's going on. They like to feel like they have that like insider thing. It's kind of like if you live in a nice suburban neighborhood and you open the drapes so everyone can see your family eating dinner. Have you ever driven down the road at night and then you see like a dining room lit up and the family's eating dinner? It's like, it's like, wow, they, like everyone can see that
there.
Right. And so I'm the kind of person, I'm like, I don't want everyone seeing that, close the drapes. But that's what social media is. It's like people are peeking through your windows. They're not really part of your life, but they're getting a view of it. Right. So they're feeling like they know a little bit about what's going on. That's why using like Facebook Messenger to connect, like you and I connected today, it's huge because
I use that every day for my business.
So they connect to Facebook Messenger, but if they're also seeing, if they're seeing from you in their feed, they're already feeling close to you. So when you reach out, it has like mega impact, right? So let me just give you a really simple
I was going to
strategy
ask you one thing too.
Yeah.
So we have this thing called the viral posting plan, where we can do hashtags that are in alignment with our mission.
Okay.
So if I did something like this every day, where you're posting a recipe or there's different things where you're showing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Would this be enough presence without me having to go on Facebook and do these lives and tell everybody what I do? And could this be enough of showing who I am and making a presence enough without going on there and just blasting a live of being loud and proud of what I do and just throwing it out there, which is just not me?
Yeah, that's enough. So what I teach is a simple program. It's called 411, 411, right?
Right.
So 4 posts that are value oriented. It's all about your audience, something that's useful to them. And then the 1-1 would be specific, like asking about the business, like, hey, comment if you'd like to learn more about Tower Gardens, or, if you'd like to join do you guys do like the crock pot thing? Wasn't that was Juice Plus, right? The crock pot.
That was a lot of they did the Crocktober, a
couple years ago. Like, you want to be on my Crocktober group? Like, I call that a soft offer, because you're not actually selling them Juice Plus, but you're offering something. Like, you want to get engaged at a different level, So that's like 411. So, and then what do you do for the 4 posts? This probably falls into alignment with that piece of paper you just held up. But I have a simple thing. It's called HIRE, HIRE. So the H is help. So it's helpful. Here's something helpful. And so my example is, years ago, somebody said, hey, if you rinse your strawberries and blueberries in water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, they won't mold in the fridge.
Okay, I can just.
I was like, that was so helpful, because now I do it, 5 years later, I do it every time and they last longer, right? So it's like, that was a helpful post. That's just an example. Had nothing to do, but it does have something to do with health, right? You see what I mean? So it's like, it's just helpful. Like, this is your lifestyle. You're being helpful. I is inspirational, inspiring. So, oh, here's a quote I love, or here's something I saw today. Here's a Bible verse that struck me today. Something inspiring that people just hit the heart on. It doesn't mean that they're like going to be like, oh my gosh, that Bible verse, Tammie, I need to sign up for your team right now. Send me, here's my credit card. No, it's just like, I love that. Right. So it's just inspiring, so that you're somebody that they look to for positive things. Right. R is recreation. So it's like, I'm doing something fun. Right. Recreation / relationship. Like, it's like letting you know a little bit about me. Like, here's my puppy. Like I told you guys about my puppy. That was relationship, right? You guys felt like, oh, he has a puppy. You visualized it. So it's like, just letting them. And again, if you're a private person, I know, there are people who are not private. Their whole life is on Instagram, whatever. But if you're a private person, you still need to let people have little pieces of you, because they want to feel connected to you, right? So pick and choose what you want to share. And, family photo or whatever, family get together, something, little things that you can show people so they feel connected to you. That's the R. And then E is education. So E is straight up education. And I know Juice Plus people do this really well, where it's like, did you know that, there's so much great stuff. I know like Mitra does tons of courses, right? And she's in Seattle with you, right? You guys are in the same.
She's my upline.
Are you? I was gonna say, you must be on her team. So like, you could mine one of her little 30-minute seminars, and that could be like education posts for the whole year. You just reiterate points that she made. Don't overthink this stuff. And then you can do a mix of like, you can do lives, but you don't have to do lives all the time. But, lives are really effective to go live every once in a while. Like if you're doing a demonstration, like maybe you're doing, maybe you're making a protein shake or something, you can demonstrate it, do it live, like something like you don't have to get crazy with it. I used to do a ton of lives. I used to do them a lot more. Now I do mostly in my private groups, because, I have all these private Facebook, you've seen me do that. But for me, it's like when I want to get something off my chest, and usually it's a little bit inspiring. Like, I don't rant about politics. Oh my gosh. You have no idea, Tammie, what I would like to say half the time, but I don't do it on.
I have a little bit of that in me.
I do too. So I don't do too much because I want the opportunity to help everybody, depending on, no matter what their political ideas are. Like I want to help everybody. So I don't do that, but like I'll rant about go for no, like, versus relationship marketing. You could rant about unhealthy choices versus healthy choices, right? And like when I was doing Beachbody, I was all about the high fructose corn syrup, which was in everything, right? As a parent with small kids, like it was in everything. Didn't used to be, and now it's less. Like, right, like 7 years later, there's less of that and everything because we all got so mad about it, right? So, but I used to do lives from Costco, and people loved that. I was like, look at all of these great clean organic foods that I got at Costco today, and I would just like seriously like show them. I used to get a lot of feedback from my Costco belt, right? And then I would throw like a bag of chocolate next to all the organic spinach, and I would get all these comments like, "Wait, I see a bag of chocolate." It's like, well, of course, like, it's not like we eat kale chips all day, right? Got to eat some chocolate. So
I can do this. Oh my gosh, the pain in my stomach. I've been stressed over social media. Peg is my accountability partner, and she just knows I've been stressed over this for years.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Satia's like going,
I'm like, I got something for you, because I was like that with you. Like I was in the same position as you, Tammie, and I actually started doing stories because I know it's temporary. It's 24 hours and it's gone. And even then, if you want to post something on your page and you want to take it down, you can do that too, right? Is that okay, Eric? I mean,
yeah, this 411, I can do this.
You can post as a story. You can do a post as both, so it shows up in both if you want to keep it. But yeah, the biggest thing is just do what you're comfortable with, but get consistent. And like when in my boot camp, I say just try to post one time a day, like 5 days a week. And what was helpful for me is like to create a basic calendar. So I would just kind of look ahead and be like, okay, even if it was like I did Transformation Tuesday.
That's like these.
Yeah. So Transformation Tuesday. So it was like, what am I going to post? Okay. Something about this, right? Inspiration Monday. So it's like, boom, I'm going to do inspiration to start the week. Right. So just kind of having some themes like that so that it made it easy. And then if you're really organized, you can actually plan what you're going to talk about on those days. I'm not that organized. It was more like, I got to do a post. But one of my power hours, so I mean, and today I showed you guys the Teamzy power hour. Like if you guys are full-time in this business, you should have another, a piece of that power hour should be planning your social media post. So like I did a power hour in the morning. So the way I did my business was when I finally left my job and went full-time, I did power hour like 5 a.m., which was what I showed you tonight. And then at 9 a.m., I did a power hour where I was planning social posts. I was thinking about what I was going to do on social. I was following up with all the messages that were coming back. Like, so that was like an important piece of my business too, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So it's kind of like a conversation. It all works together. The conversation that you start on social media, then the direct messaging. Then what happens when you direct message somebody and they respond? You're now prioritized on the algorithm. So they see all your posts. So they start interacting with your posts. And even when you send somebody a message that says, hope you're having a great day, and they don't respond, they're now you'll suddenly see them liking posts and commenting on things. Even they didn't respond to you because it brought an awareness of you to them for a moment. Does that make sense? So it all works together, but you don't have to be like if you connect with people one-on-one, you're talking on phones, you're texting people, that's great. You don't have to go crazy on social media because you're making those personal connections, but you got to have some presence there. It's kind of like, it's like having a business, like having a restaurant with no signs, right? It's just like, what is that? So you got to be open for business, if that makes sense. Like that's how you're open for business in the modern world, is letting people know that you're there. It also helps establish you as a trusted advisor in this area, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I'll just tell you guys one little quick story. I know you got to go to bed, and so do I. A good friend of mine who I was very excited to see got an MD at conference. So excited for her. But about 18 months ago, I was on a training like this with her, and she said, I need to talk to you. So we got on a call. We actually just talked, and she's, take a look at my Facebook. What am I doing wrong? And she had all these pictures of her tower garden. I mean, they were gorgeous. Like, she was really good at it, right? Her tower garden was beautiful. Like, my tower garden is productive, but it's outside. It's not always beautiful, right? I've got like dead leaves stuck to it and stuff, right? It was gorgeous. And she was always talking about tower garden. People were interacting on the tower garden. I'm looking at all these posts. And I said, okay, I scrolled through your whole Facebook, and never once did you say, I sell these things. People think you have a hobby growing things on this tower. You need to just add, like, did you guys know that I sell these? Like, if you'd like to learn more about getting one, message me. We finance these monthly. They're easy to get. Like, just every once in a while, invite people to learn more. And she's like, oh my gosh. And the other thing that I found out talking to her that I said she's not sharing on social media was, I asked her, just like I asked the young lady in the bar, well, what's your story? And when she told me her story, it surprised me, because she was somebody who had chronic fatigue and all kinds of ailments happening. And she actually had to give up her career that she loved because of that illness. And then Juice Plus turned it around. Now, this is somebody who looks like she could punch through a brick wall. Like, I would have never known that she was ill and that she struggled. And I said, that story needs to be told every single day. I said, people aren't going to buy Juice Plus because you can punch through a brick wall. They need to know that you were frail. You need to tell the story of your frailty. That's what they're going to relate to. So anyways, just like the point is the page needs to not only share who you are, but it needs to share that you're in the business of helping others. Does that make sense? And how they can get involved with you. So that needs to be part of it as it goes. That's all. Simple. If I was an electrician, you would see me doing cool stuff like, did you know I can see through this little gadget where the electric current is in your wall? If you know anybody who has electrical problems that need solving, you need to call me. I'm here to help. Does it make sense? You wouldn't think twice about it. But meanwhile, it's like, oh my gosh, Juice Plus, I better not mention it. So it's just, people need to know what you do, why you're passionate about it, that you're in the business for that. You know what every business your friends and family are in? They all need to know what you're in. Make sense?
Absolutely.
You can do it, Tammie.
We can all do it.
I sent you a friend request. Did you accept it? You better accept it.
On social media. That's how bad it is.
You better accept that friend request so I can see these new posts you're going to start doing. Does anyone else have a question before I sign off?
Just real quick.
Yes.
So when we do the post, I guess certain things we should post it as public then instead of just friends, because like you said, people, it's like, oh yeah, you should, meet my friend Tammie, and then like if you don't have it public and they're scoping you out and they don't see what you're posting.
Correct. Public.
Right.
Public. Yep. Definitely public, because they can't share your posts. And then they share this blank post. It's so disappointing when you share a post that only friends can see, and it's like, you can't display this here. It's like, dang it. So yeah, I would definitely post in public. I mean, if there's some things that are private that you don't want public, then just, play with that setting. But definitely, I would post it public. The other thing that can happen, when you get into social media is, and again, this is a whole nother thing. You guys need to take my boot camp, but tagging your customers, tagging your friends in posts, congratulating them. Like, we showed the message where it's like, congratulations on losing 10 pounds. Well, I would tag somebody and say, I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of Tammie I just wanted to shout out to Tammie. She lost 10 pounds in our challenge. Good job. You're amazing, and tag them. And then their friends see that post. And then Tammie comments, it was the best thing ever. And so now you're interacting on their Facebook or Instagram with other people, right? And then it's like, then you can start connecting with the people that connected. It's just like you can dig into it, right? And then it's like, Tammie, oh my gosh, that post was amazing. I actually connected with 3 of your friends who are interested in Juice Plus. So before I sign them up, Tammie, have you ever considered doing what I'm doing? Because just that one post, all these people, they trust you, they want to jump in. If you want to talk more about it, we can talk about it. But at the very least, Tammie, these 3 people are going to pay for your product. So let's talk. You see how it works?
Mm-hmm.
So, and some of that happens on social media. But then what I do is, once that interaction happens, the idea is to capture those relationships and start connecting personally with them. Right. So it's like social media is a way, it's like a big net where you can make connections, but the magic still happens one-on-one where you're comfortable, Tammie. So it's still happening one-on-one, but it's like, boom, now I'm going to message that person and talk to them.
It's where the seed came from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this way you can recruit people in Kansas. You can recruit people in Australia. And you could, right? Because you're meeting like-minded people wherever they may be. That's the beautiful thing about social media.
Yeah.
So
I feel good. Thank you.
All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you for having me. God bless you guys. I hope this was helpful. And
thank you so much.
Welcome to the Teamzy family. If you're not already, if you hadn't already been a part of it.
Thank you so much. Seriously, from the
Thank
bottom of my heart, my whole heart thanks you amazingly. And God bless you too. We just are so grateful.